Hello and welcome back. This week I want to think together with you about Derrida's ethics. And I want to begin thinking about Derrida's ethics by scotching a myth that's quite widespread about his ethical thought. And the myth is this. The myth is that Derrida is a relativist. Now, of all the different myths that circulate about Derrida, and there are a lot of them, this is probably one of the most damaging because, as I hope to try and show you today, Derrida is almost exactly the opposite of a relativist. And if we start off thinking that he is a relativist, it's very hard indeed to understand his thought. In order to start off exploring with you in what way he's not a relativist, I want to do a thought experiment with you. For this thought experiment, you need to think of the person who means most to you in the world. It might be a spouse or a child. I've picked for this example a grandma. Now, I'm going to ask you a question about this person. Here's the question. How much money would it take for you to part with that person forever, to be separated from them? How much money would you, in other words, exchange them for? Would 1 million do it? 10 million? 1 billion? I mean, once we get towards 1 trillion, think of all the good you could do in the world with that amount of money. How much would it cost for you to give that person up? How much would you exchange them for? Well, before you stop this video right now and never come back to this course ever again out of outrage at the question that I've asked, let me reassure you what I'm sure is already more than evident to you. The point of this exercise is to show that there is no amount of money for which we would willingly exchange those who are nearest and dearest to us. Why? Because those people are unique. They're unsubstitutable. We can't exchange them. Nothing else will do. Only that person will do. We can't exchange them for another person or even another group of people. It's their unique qualities that are important to us. Now, hold that thought. Think of a world in which that's true not only for people, we wouldn't exchange them and we can't exchange them and it's obscene to think of exchanging them because they're so unique. Well, that's the case not only for people, not only for animals, but in fact for everything. Where we can't exchange anything for anything else because we always lose the uniqueness, the singularity, as Derrida would put it, of the thing that we're exchanging. Nothing can be substituted for anything else without losing that uniqueness. That is the first principle that I want to think about with you of Derrida's ethics. And it is then precisely not that things are relative to each other. My grandmother isn't relative to money, but things are unique. Derrida would say things are incommensurable. We can't measure them against each other. There's no common measure that can do justice to my grandmother and a certain amount of money. I don't want to measure them against each other. Well, similarly for Derrida, all objects are ultimately incommensurable with each other. We always lose their unique singularity. And that is the exact opposite of relativism.